We are in a society where there's a lot of trend on social media, trends that are indeed powerful and can help virality. But you know that it's possible for you to be seen, to be heard, to be exposed, and not to hit the mark. Instead of your customer loving you, they're actually hating you. They're irritated by you and they're staying away. So they know you exist, you're popular, but they're still not patronizing you.
Today, we're diving into falling in love with your brand. Make customers your biggest fan. Just like in any great relationship, building brand loyalty requires trust, consistency, and emotional connection. On the show today, we'll be sharing expert tips on how to turn your customers into devoted brand advocates who not only buy from you, but promote you as well. So stay with us, grab a pen so as you can take notes. Let's discover how to make your business irresistible this Valentine's season and beyond. All right, so let's get into it. Joining us on the show today is a seasoned expert who's going to be sharing valuable insights on the topic, falling in love with your brand, make customers your biggest fans, and how small and medium businesses in Nigeria can build strong, loyal customer relationships for lasting success. Our guest today is Bolanle Olosunde Generola. I hope I said it properly.
You tried.
Marks over 10.
5.
No. So you say it and I'll give it another shot.
Okay. Bolanle Olosunde Generola.
Bolanle Olosunde Generola.
8.
There we go. Now, Bolanle is a seasoned corporate and personal brand strategist, shaping Africa's top businesses and executives. She leads Bond Storytelling Agency, the BON Storytelling Agency, specializing in visual documentation, commercials, and digital media for major brands like Access Bank, IHS, Deloitte, BASF, West Africa, and more. She has a master's degree in media and communications and is passionate about storytelling, writing novels, creating impactful videos, and driving change. Bolanle, you're very welcome. It's great to have you on the show.
Thank you.
And I believe that you will be able to help me with something I've got up my sleeve.
Okay, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah.
Let's dive straight into it. I do have a number of questions. Let's dive deep.
Okay.
Falling in love with your brand. Why it matters. That's where we're going to be starting.
Okay.
So building a brand that people love sounds like a dream. It's a dream that most people probably have. But why is it crucial for businesses to focus on customer loyalty rather than just sales?
Great. Thank you so much for that question, because it's a brilliant way to start. And I will start like a storyteller. So I will paint a vision that probably would help people understand this better.
Yeah.
If a man or a woman cites another person, really, just, you see this person and you fall in love with them, or you have feelings, let's not even say fall in love, and you want this person to be in your life in some way, whether for a short season or for a permanent season, the way to get them in a lot of cases is to show that love. And showing that love, in a lot of cases, the type that will win, the type that would help you get the person, is usually with a lot of patience, with a lot of showing of efforts. And that's why this is Valentine's season now. People are getting flowers. People are, but beyond the gift is also, using the love languages of that person to show the person that I am the right person to be in your life at this time. So whether it's quality time, whether it's gifts, whether it's, all of those 5 love languages, that's the exact same thing that people need to do in businesses. But what we see happening is that a lot of people are just desperate for the sale. And if someone is about to ask you out, someone is asking you out who claims to love you, and this person is just being desperate. The person wants you just for sex, or the person just wants you because you look good on their arm, oh, you're beautiful, and you typically, except you have something to gain too, where you feel like, okay, no problem, now use me as your hand candy and I'll just take your money, then I'll be good. But in a lot of cases, the only time when you will agree to go into a relationship with this person is when you can feel the genuineness. So when you make your customers fall in love with you, you gain, you win. Yeah, so that's how I see it.
All right, now, loads of small businesses, small business owners who are listening to the show right now, they're probably wondering, where do they start with this? What's the first step to making a brand that customers genuinely connect with and love?
Okay, great. Brilliant question again. See, there's a buzzword going around now, and it's getting more popular than ever before, even though it has been existing, and that is personal branding.
Yeah.
Everybody is saying it now. Even earlier today, I think I was listening on the show here at Classic FM, and I did hear a lecture on personal branding. So I know it's getting the buzz. And building a personal brand is not about, okay, so let someone be following me around. Let me take a few pictures. Let me post it online. Let people just see that me too, I'm there. That's not personal branding. But see, the answer to your question really is personal branding through deliberate visual impact documentation. So impact documentation to say many people are posting themselves, many people are getting people, because through deliberate visual documentation and putting it in the face of your potential customer or audience ensures that people know that you exist. But you're not building a brand that really makes sense if you're not deliberate about what you are putting out there. So we have businesses jumping on any trend just because they want customers to like them. You know, we're in a society where there's a lot of trend on social media these days, trends that are indeed powerful and can help virality. But you know that it's possible for you to be seen, to be heard, to be exposed, and not to hit the mark. Where instead of your customer loving you, they're actually hating you. They're irritated by you and they're staying away. So they know you exist, you're popular, but they're still not patronizing you. So building a personal brand based on the value and the solutions that you can provide by deliberately documenting your impact, your effort. So when I say this, it sounds ambiguous, and I'll break it down just a bit, is that the care you take, for example, you have a cake business. Show us some BTS, and not just a BTS of you being sad. Show us the joyful BTS of the preparation. Show us how you select the items that you put in your pastry. Yeah. Show us those details and the intentionality. Even when you show us the bad days, because we have people who go and say, these are not so expensive. Oh, this country, you're just lamenting. And you think it's doing something for you, but it's not really. You're showing that you are a struggling business. But what if you craft a narrative of saying, in spite of the economy, in spite of all that is happening, see how we're trying to give you the best. You're just coming with positive vibes, yeah, and you're loading us with positive content, showing your process, showing your style, showing your reason, and obviously showing the little opportunities that come your way, like in case you get featured to be interviewed in a place like this. Those things will go a long way in cementing your authority, your presence, your passion, and you know, it just makes your customer fall in love with you gradually. They don't even know. But they just wake up one day and realize that you're the one that they choose.
You know, this is really, really good stuff. I mean it. It's really illuminating. All right, so let's look at creating these meaningful connections, the power of storytelling as you have. And I can see how you've done that. You created the parallel with someone who might be looking to date a girl and so on and so on. And being essentially, you're talking to being intentional, yes, and deliberate and having a plan, yes, how you want to be perceived for the purpose of making that connection. So we're going deeper now. Love stories aren't just for romance. Every great brand has one tool. Now, Bolanle, as a storytelling expert, you've helped brands create these compelling narratives that customers relate to. So, the digital landscape is massive now, especially with social media, there's online, there's all this stuff. How can SMEs use those digital platforms, not just for marketing, but to really deepen this connection with their audience?
I like that the first thing you said when you began this question was storytelling, is to tell stories. You know, storytelling has existed from time immemorial, from the days of Tales by Moonlight, from the days of our forefathers when people would just go outside in the evening and share the stories of their day in the farm, or their storytelling has always existed. But what the 21st century new media and the digital media is doing is that storytelling can now be amplified on a bigger scale. So where people are seeing social media and they're snobbing it and they're seeing it as, oh, it's just noise. It's just be there. Be loud about your business. Talk to your audience. There are things that, you know, the makers of social media put in place to help us. We have all these reels, we have going on lives, those are things that people concentrate on. So people concentrate on features instead of the content. And so we're not, so some dance goes viral and you feel like that's the dance you need to do that's what SMEs are doing. It's very different from how the corporates approach their business. But what I would say is that SMEs now need to incorporate integrated marketing communication. Big businesses do this, where there's
integrated marketing communication.
Yes, where there's a cohesive approach in how they meet their customers at different touch points. I think that's just what it means. So what I'm just saying in a nutshell is that SMEs should not see social media as a place to just go and jump on trends as a way of making their business. They need to treat it as a serious scientific process like the corporate organizations. And using integrated marketing communications will help this. To say that, are you focusing on your numbers and your insights? Where someone, for example, clicks on your product and service, looks at it, and goes away. Do you have a system in place where there's an ad that retargets that person? Low budget ads. I'm not saying spend big money, but this person has already looked at your product, has liked it. Exactly. So there must be some investment because that's how you scale. Marketing is how you scale. And that's why I want SMEs to think beyond the reels and all the free stuff to now begin to invest in marketing. Do retargeting ads. Do generic ads that expose people to your business. And then retarget those ads. A lot of SMEs, why I need to talk about this. There's this Instagram profile ads, which is very popular now. People use it to increase the number of their followers. People use it to raise awareness. You just see it. But people are not following up. And that's why ads are failing. And you have businesses crying and saying, oh, I've spent so much money on ads, but it's not doing anything for me. It's not doing anything for me because people are seeing the ad, they're liking the ad, and they're going away. But there needs to now be a retargeting ad. So that they've seen your ad, they liked it, but they went away because, they wanted to but their husband came into the room. Their child needed to go to school. When they are trying to download a new app on App Store, let your small ad show up again. When they want to watch something on YouTube, let your ad show up again. That's how Temu and all this, did I get their name right? Yes. That's what they're doing. They're doing it on a bigger scale with a bigger... Exactly. But I think small businesses need to now begin to think about those that are really making it. That's what they're doing. Like, I believe there's some people that are making it organically, but organic has limits. If you want to break the scale and go to the next level, you have to do some marketing. And you don't have to spend money like the big corporates anymore. With your small budgets, do the right things. Don't just run ads, retarget. It is in retargeting these customers that the profits will come.
All right. One more question before we try and do a bit of a giveaway. Still speaking of connection.
Okay.
Some brands have built real communities around their businesses. Can you share creative ways businesses have gone beyond selling to create a loyal and engaged brand community?
Good. You see, like we said earlier, nobody comes online or anywhere really to be sold to. If we had our way, would rather not be sold to. You'd rather so if you really want someone to just see you and like you, there's a lot of nurturing that has to come into play. So meaning you can't be selling all the time. You have to give value. And I think that we are in this season, and because now more than ever before, in the days of my parents, I do believe that having a job or doing those things are but now we have more SMEs creating their own jobs as well. And so the way to ensure that you can continue to engage and create the right content is not to be selling. That's really what it is. But can you begin to educate? We are in the season where education is what will sell. People are ignorant about the problems that they have. They're ignorant about how use education to sell. Because once you begin to raise awareness, so for example, if you have a new line of healthy cakes, I don't want your healthy cake. I think it's not delicious. I want the creamy one with all of the... Yeah. But if you begin to tell me about what you've used, the natural, and you're not necessarily saying, come and buy my healthy cake, you're just saying, honey is the new, and you're just telling us the importance of honey, the antioxidants, all of that, and you're saying that, and guess what? You get to eat dessert, maybe a little less sweet, but then this antioxidant, people begin to see this as a gain, and they're calling you, and you're saying, I didn't even ask for the sale, but you are showing yourself as the expert. You're showing yourself as the right person. And before you know it, money will chase you.
How can one earn and maintain trust, especially when customers are getting increasingly selective and value transparency?
I think there's number one way, and I think I'll just stay on number one, but I'll add number two and maybe number three. But number one and ultimate one is to deliver an unforgettable experience. Because when you do what you say you will do, people will trust you more. A brand is also a promise that you would always deliver. If every time I order jollof rice from you, it is smoky, I won't have, and it comes on time. So all of those experiences, you need to have rules. You need to have guides. You need to have experiences that you want your customers to associate, because brand is about association. It's about what they associate. Even if you are a late comer and that's your brand and they know they will be late, but it's not something they're used to. And there's a swag with the lateness, not you're just irresponsibly late, but you've decided to use fashionably late as a way of, I'm not even going to teach you what to do, because I believe that you know what to do to make your customers happy, depending on what your niche is. But yes, delivering unforgettable experiences and fulfilling your brand promise, that really is the goal. Because at the end of the day, we're not buying the iPhone because we want to make calls. It's because of the superior cameras, because of all the other amazing things we get from it. So the question is, why will your customer come back? You need to ask yourself that question.
Every relationship has its ups and downs, including the one between a brand and its customers. In today's economy, businesses are really facing challenges, but brand love must remain strong. So I want to know, in a challenging economic environment like ours, how do you suggest SMEs keep their brand love strong? What can businesses do to keep their loyal customers engaged and coming back, even in these sort of times?
Okay, because the time is short, I'll read something that I wrote. But first, I would say innovate. When you continue to provide solutions and you're innovating and you're not just there selling what you sold yesterday, the customer would feel like you took them seriously. And I think that it would make them keep coming back. But I wrote this down and I want the audience to take this away. The brands that people fall in love with are not perfect, but they are consistent, they're transparent, and they're adaptable. Think about how brands like Apple, Dangote, Nike, did I say Dangote right? And even small local business survive and thrive despite market shifts. They keep their core identity intact while innovating to meet their customer needs. Think of Access Bank. They're always providing new, solutions for businesses, from DBA Flex to so many amazing initiatives. So if Access Bank can continue to do this for small businesses, why can you not do it for your business as well?
Just before we go, Burnley, share with us one golden piece of advice for building a brand that customers truly love. What would that be?
A resilient brand is built on community, not just transactions. If you make customers feel valued, they'll stick with you through anything and they'll fall in love with you. And that's how to get rich and successful as a business owner.
There we go. I wish we could go on. I really, really do, because like I said to Burnley earlier, I have a business that I need some advice on. I'm going to get that free now, seeing as we've had this nice chat on the radio, and I know that there's this wealth of knowledge I can tap into. But yes, the Access Bank SME Digest radio show comes your way at 7 p.m. every Tuesday here on Classic FM 97.3. And I think today's one, this has to be a really star show, because I was taking notes. I hope you were too. I wish you the very best. You can thank Bolanle later. You can thank me too, because she did come on this platform. Bolanle,
yeah,
I really like it. Thank you so much.
Thank you too. Thank you very much.